Are you looking for a DevOps job? In the past 4 weeks, 10 of my students have landed jobs. And in this video, I'm going to share exactly what they did so that you can land a job yourself by applying the techniques that they have used. My name is Misha. I'm an ex-nurse turned senior DevOps, and now I help people land DevOps jobs within weeks. So let's jump in. In the KubeCraft Career Accelerator, we have a wins section. And if I then filter on new, then we see all of the latest wins of the community, landed a Junior SRE role, new job, new country, new job, new job. So I figured we can go through these and see what the people are saying and also what is working for them. So let's start with Brad here. He did it. He is excited that he is starting as a Junior SRE on Monday. So he has a background in system support of 3 to 4 years. So he's not completely new to the tech industry, but he has some experience. So he stumbled across my viral config management walkthrough. That's actually the video that broke through my YouTube channel. So it's always fun to hear. And he then is based in the UK. And here he says, Misha's video about LinkedIn made him start to take it seriously. As he approached 350 plus connections, he was getting 2 to 3 recruiters reach out to him every week. So this is what I say in all of my videos, where you should take LinkedIn very seriously. And if you have 500 plus connections, then you will start showing up in searches much more, and people take you more seriously that way, because someone with a professional network is more valuable to other people as well. So I always stress that. And when you join KubeCraft, then there is an incentive where you get over 350 LinkedIn connections overnight. So he spotted the new role on LinkedIn. And the interview process was 4 rounds. That's quite a lot. And here's the interesting thing where he says, where the home lab came up as questions in every call, where he talked about customized external secrets and how I would improve it. It became less of a technical interview and more of an open conversation about what I had built, why I chose to build that way, and how they achieved similar outcomes with their tooling. So this is something that I always preach in my content, that hands-on is the way to go. And the reason I say this is it turns interviews into conversations rather than interrogations, exactly like he is saying here. When you have a project on your CV, then people, instead of asking you, what's the OSI model, or what does HTTPS stand for, these lame questions, because people don't have, they see your CV and they probably see you have just been watching courses, and all they can ask is these lame questions. However, if you write there, I run a 5-node Kubernetes cluster in my basement, any senior DevOps engineer looks at that and thinks, hey, this is interesting, and he will start asking questions about it. Now, what happens is, instead of trying to memorize technical details, here you are passionately talking about something that you built yourself. And that turns the interview dynamic completely around. It's a completely different world. So this is why I always preach, go hands-on and build a home lab. So Brad here, he went into the Kubernetes home lab course, he did it, and he documented his process. And this is why he landed his job. Excellent. So let's move to Frederik. He has another huge win. He was actually interested in moving countries in addition to landing a new DevOps job. So he now has landed a job in the Netherlands, and he's moving from South Africa to the Netherlands because of that. And here he writes how KubeCraft helped. He was contacted on LinkedIn, so he has taken the LinkedIn courses and he has done the work there, and then people started reaching out to him. And when he got the interview, he says it wasn't super technical, but he did ask questions about my experience with DevOps tools. He mentioned he was part of a Kubernetes community and that he was busy setting up a home lab and played around with Arch Linux as well. That almost seemed to be the deciding factor in the end, since he could see that I'm serious about getting my hands dirty and gaining practical experience. So he writes, he is busy setting up his home lab. He didn't even build it yet. And even that has landed him the job in a different country. So this stuff really works. It's just so fun to me to see that the system is working so well. So again, the system repeats itself. LinkedIn plus home lab equals job. Great. Peter here, he has also landed a job. He has also gone deep into the very good structured classroom. Video explanations about the community posts really help. Transformed his own home lab, and thanks to a former colleague, he has the honor of figuring out and building what I believe to be the perfect kube cluster for a small company from zero. So he learned the Kubernetes skills at home while building his home lab, and then a connection in his network has helped him land a job. So this is another part of the tech framework that I teach: tools, experience, content, and human, where human stands for the interpersonal things, the human side, and networking. And networking is extremely, extremely important. And Peter here shows how important it is that you should start building up a professional network, and then you will get referred from within your network. The skilled people who land senior jobs, they don't apply for jobs. They get asked for jobs, and the hidden job market is real. Next, we have Milan. He has 12 years in software quality engineering and now has landed the job in DevOps and platform. He mentions it's more luck than anything else, but he does mention that KubeCraft and Misha were the great confidence boosters for the application. Without the community, I wouldn't have had the courage to apply otherwise. And before he applied, he went through the classes here. He went through Arch Linux the hard way, setting up the Kubernetes home lab cluster, and he has polished his LinkedIn, and that all made an impact. So one thing that I always encourage people to do is to start applying from day one. Many people make the mistake that they need to have this perfect CV with all the skills listed on it. You need to have Kubernetes, containers, Linux, Jenkins, Python, and have projects for each, and then you start applying. No, that's not what you should do. Actually, you should, like, say you have, like me, when I started out, I'm a nurse, zero tech experience. Already, you should set your LinkedIn profile to aspiring DevOps engineer, or I am looking to transition my career to tech. And you start profiling yourself that way and start applying right away, even without anything useful on your CV. Because the reason I say this is the application process and the interview process is a skill in and of itself. So you need to get reps with this. And it doesn't matter if you get rejected all the time. You are practicing to polish your CV, to tailor it, and to make sure to learn how to present yourself in the most optimal way. So what he says here, it was a confidence booster for his application, and he learned this through our soft skills modules, where we actually teach you how to present yourself, how to market yourself, how to build a CV, and he took that and it has helped him apparently. Next we have Jakub. 11 days ago, he was not a software engineer, not a system administrator. He was working only in help desk with no real commercial experience in real IT. So you can sense from what he says that he was very insecure about his background and his capabilities. And at one point, he was even losing all hope of ever moving into another position. So he joined the community. He went all in on the learning path. And he started with Arch Linux, starting with the basics. He was studying 10 hours a day and then moved on to build on his Kubernetes home lab. So first of all, props to you, Jakub. You took the courses, but you also applied yourself. You put in the work. Because a career change, honestly, is not an easy thing to do. It's not something that you can just do with studying 1 hour a day if you have the background that Jakub is saying here. Like, you're not going to make get a six-figure job by just putting in 1 hour a day here and there and hoping for the best, right? It is a serious undertaking, and he did the work. It was intense, but it was worth it. And the thing he loves about Misha's way of teaching is that it makes him feel like he was truly growing. Each step was practical, easy to follow, and gave him real confidence. So this is part of my teaching style. The courses in KubeCraft, they are not like Udemy courses where it's just PowerPoint slides and that's it. No, everything is very hands-on, practical, and everything is set up so it's as if we are sitting in a room together and I'm actually mentoring you as if you were, for example, a junior DevOps that just joined the company. That's my teaching style, and it is working very well. And here he's saying, I wasn't sure if I should start applying right away. Plan is to land a new position within a year. And he told himself, just embrace the rejection, learn from each interview, and keep that constant interview moment going. So what I was saying in the previous section, right? To start applying from day one. But to his surprise, he got an offer for a DevOps engineer role after only 1 month of searching. Yeah, so cool. And then he felt confident discussing the required technologies and how I apply them. because I have already tested them in my home lab. Again, guys, home lab, it just keeps returning. Build a home lab and start today. Do it. Next up, we have Michael. As he said, an aged IT guy, so someone with lots of experience, but he has not been keeping up with the latest technology. And then he joined KubeCraft, and now 12 days ago, he landed a job. Next up, we have Daniil. He just signed an offer for a DevOps engineer position straight out of university with no prior job experience. And he thanks Misha and my brother for the help with the resume and for the courses. And again, he is saying, talking about my home lab and all the little projects I made was the biggest part of my interview process. I barely even got any other technical questions. It's exactly as I say. Building projects, building a Kubernetes home lab turns your interviews from interrogations into conversations. Remember that. But overall, he thinks, especially for a startup position, as Misha said multiple times, it's passion, tinkerer mindset, and ability to talk enthusiastically about your learning journey that can help you land a job, not your hard skills. And that is the way it is. So when I started out myself, I was a nurse, but I was driven. I made it my life's mission to land a tech job. And I went all in on it. I started building projects, studying hard, and I was really passionate about it. And that's the thing. People, like multiple CEOs from my network have told me that when they hire people, they look a little bit at the technical skills. They want to have some sort of verification that you can learn tech skills, like a couple of certs or something like that. But what they're looking at is whether you're a cultural fit and whether you are passionate about your work, because that's the most important. Everybody loves someone who is passionate about their work, because there's plenty of people there, especially in the IT industry, who got the job during COVID or maybe before that, and they just do the minimum amount required to not get fired from their job. And they will work maybe a couple of hours a day, do a couple of tickets, and then they fly under the radar that way. There's literally oceans of people out there who work this way, unfortunately. And you're not going to get very far in your career if you have that attitude. So someone without much formal experience, but who is driven and who is willing to work hard on himself and passionate, people love that. So this is the underlying mechanism of all these projects, is that you can show that you are passionate about something. Next, we have Leonard. He was 3 months jobless, doubting if he was still in the right space. 2 weeks ago, he joined KubeCraft with 100 LinkedIn connections and no confidence in Kubernetes. And very quickly, his LinkedIn network exploded to over 500 connections. He built a home lab and he landed a new DevOps job starting in 2 weeks, thanks to confidently answering what is a control plane. KubeCraft gave me direction and purpose and encouraged me that this is the way. So Leonard, he definitely holds the record in KubeCraft now. A job within 2 weeks, that is definitely a very impressive achievement. And we are super happy with his results. But again, it shows the very important mechanism. Grow your LinkedIn to over 500 connections, build a home lab so that you can talk about that home lab and relate those theoretical concepts to the stuff you have already done. You don't need to be in a formal job in order to get that experience, as practically everybody we have discussed up till now has proven already. Next, we have James. He also landed a job. He had been unemployed for a long time, and then he actually started posting on LinkedIn about his difficulties finding a new opportunity, and then former colleagues from a previous company reached out to him. So again, here you see he simply started posting on LinkedIn about what he was going through, and that landed him a job. I mean, people, this is the biggest leverage you can have at this point in time, because 99% of users on LinkedIn never post. The people who post on LinkedIn, they are the top 1% of LinkedIn users. Put that into your mind, like burn it into your mind, that if you want to be in the top 1% of people in the world on LinkedIn, all you have to do is make a post a few times a week. I just made you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Enjoy. Next, we have Emily, who lost the job back in May, but then started looking for a new one. He was already a bit more experienced, couple of years of SRE and DevOps experience, and was laid off. Here he shares a few lessons. Lesson 1 is that one-on-one targeted outreach was more successful. So this is very important on LinkedIn. If you are out of options, you can always start reaching out to people. And here, again, it is extremely useful to have a large network of connections. Lesson 2, it's very much a psychological battle to job search, especially in this market, no matter your experience level. And that is true. It's a tough grind. If you are in a tougher market, he's in the States, and in some areas it is a lot tougher to get a DevOps job right now. But they still are there. And if you just keep grinding away, if you keep leveling up yourself, you will make it. Lesson 3, be open to taking opportunities from recruiters. The job I eventually got from an internal recruiter, and those are the best. But if you get hit up by recruiting agencies, at least hear them out. So sometimes recruiters, they make money if you land a job, right? So they are not just approaching random people. They don't want to waste their own time. So if a recruiter actually reaches out to you, that tells you something. That shows that you are interesting to them because they can make money off of you. And if you are in dire straits, if you need a job and you're unable to find one yourself, then be open to have them get a commission on you landing a job. And finally, so we have gone through the whole list now, and now we have ended up at the 5th of August. And as I'm recording in this, it is the 10th of September. I had to check. So yeah, 1 month and 5 days. So let's do Maor here as well. His transition to DevOps is now complete. He's been on a long journey for more than a year to facilitate this move, and it was a hell of a ride. But it's the best decision he has taken in his lifetime. So first of all, he expresses his gratitude to Misha and my brother who are running the community. It's the ultimate place for self-growth in so many aspects, not only in relation to DevOps. So thank you, that's a huge compliment. And he also thanks the community members for their contribution in making KubeCraft such a pleasant place to be in, highlighting the respectful discussions, technical insights, career professional tips, including an acceptance. Yeah, he says, none of what I have mentioned is taken for granted in our current internet landscape. And actually, this is a very good point. When I set out to build KubeCraft, I was actually, like people pay to come in, but you are still entering a group with currently almost 800 members, 800 strangers together. Now, if you've been on the internet for a while, you will have noticed that when you put a lot of strangers together in a community, very often things start to get nasty. Just look at Reddit, right? But none of that happens in KubeCraft. And I think that's because I attract a certain level of people. I attract serious people who are here with a certain goal, who are looking to connect with other people with the same interests. And because they pay for an entry, they also are more invested in it. So this is not something that I have enforced or done intentionally, but because of the type of people I attract, this has become such a good community that is inclusive, respectful, and chock full of technical insights. So he quit his job as an IT support specialist and system administrator, and then dove into KubeCraft and DevOps. He joined KubeCraft shortly after gaining basic foundations in Kubernetes, and he was hesitant whether he should pursue some of the Kubernetes-related certifications. Joining KubeCraft made him realize that he had strong foundations in Kubernetes will lead him to the desired position, and coincided with his passion for the helmsman and everything that revolves around it. Super cool reference there to the helmsman. He knew he was lacking hands-on skills before joining KubeCraft, but thanks to Misha's wonderful Kubernetes-related courses, especially the Home Lab one, I was able to gain confidence and build various Home Lab environments to experiment with and learn how they work. I cannot stress enough that the importance of going through this whole cycle of breaking down systems and fixing them over and over again. So again, this is what we teach in the courses. The head of infrastructure and security was impressed by his CV as it resembles his shift from system administration into DevOps years ago, and he was invited to an interview. First round was a 15 conversation where after which they switched gears into a 1 hour long session of technical questions. Vast majority were related to Kubernetes with a few questions about Helm, Docker, and Terraform. He was able to answer 90% of the questions correctly and immediately told him that he would be recommended to advance to the next round. And his key takeaways here are deepening your knowledge while learning for the CKA, and not just in order to pass the exam, but rather spending countless hours browsing through the documentation is non-negotiable. You want to breathe Kubernetes. Yeah, this is something that I say in my courses all the time. Live and breathe kubectl. Breathe Kubernetes. You have to go deep into it. You have to go deeper than the course curriculum, not just because you want to get the cert, but also this will make your life easier when you eventually hand the job. The hands-on experience while building and breaking your home lab in Kubernetes environments is key. And knowing Docker image size reduction techniques is an elementary knowledge you want to have. Next, he went into the next round. There was a case study, an interesting scenario. And here it boiled down to ensuring business continuity for all customers. So this was actually a really good interview process where you're not just talking about the tech stuff. This was actually a DevOps engineer position where you're also interacting with the business and customers, etc. And then he was told immediately he passed the interview, and eventually after 3 weeks, he offered the contract. So key takeaways: take your time processing each question. Think out loud and explain your logic when approaching a problem. So this is like during the interview, just don't be afraid of thinking out loud and just say, oh, I'm just going to think out loud here. This is a really good tip. And lay down possible scenarios and their outcome. And don't be shy to ask for clarifications when something is not clear to you. But again, you don't have to enter an interview and think that they are expecting that you have to know everything by heart. You can ask them questions. So details about the environment or how is this configured exactly, and they will give you more information. So I have to praise Misha and Sammy once again for the well-constructed interview preparation course in the classroom. It made me change my perception and alternate some things I was doing wrong for all those years. Here he is confirming something that I had in mind the moment I started building KubeCraft. KubeCraft is something entirely different. It's not a collection of technical courses. We are actually offering you a complete system to land a DevOps job. And landing a DevOps job is not just building a home lab. It's not just learning Kubernetes and learning Azure. It's so much more. You have to learn how to create a proper CV, how to build a proper LinkedIn profile that attracts recruiters to your inbox every day, how to present yourself, soft skills, interview preparation. We have a full course on how to prepare your interviews. And as Maor says here, it's a good course, and people with many years of experience are still getting so much value out of it. And finally, he also says, build strong Linux foundations, something I keep harping on everywhere as well. Build your Arch Linux system following Misha's wonderful course in the classroom and try to convert it in your daily driver. Massive knowledge gain guaranteed. So thank you so much, Maor. And yeah, that is then the 10 jobs that we have landed in the past 4 weeks in KubeCraft. So the main common denominators you see here is that people use LinkedIn, they build home labs, and then they talk passionately about those home labs on the interview. And this is a system that works. I built this because I was in so much pain when I started out as a nurse who had no experience and getting rejected time after time after time. And I swore to myself that one day I would solve this problem of landing DevOps jobs. And it is working. 10 jobs in 4 weeks. I think it's an amazing result. And remember, these are just the people who have made posts about it. I have many more jobs in my DMs, but I can't share those because those are private. And there are plenty of people landing jobs who are too shy to share it in the community. So this is just what people are sharing. The method works. If you're interested in landing a DevOps job and taking an accelerated path into that instead of wasting years, you can check out the link below. We only take up about 10 students a month, so spots are limited, but you can book a call with my team and we can see if you are a good fit for the program. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you land a DevOps job, and go for it. Don't give up. You can do it, and I'll see you in the next video.